Hello, what's up? Sedrik and Sidra here, CRWC commentary, and we're going to do answering viewers and get into the topic of this right here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click that bell, yada yada yada. Graphic on screen. So T. Jones responded to a video of Roger Jackson placing legit blame. And there's a lot of things I didn't hear or thoroughly comprehend in that when I was listening to the remarks of Roger and things like that. But we're going to get into that. Sidra and I will. But T. Jones had to say that Roger is a disgusting human being. What makes this situation even worse is the fact that some people are actually defending Roger. They are only bloody defending him because of his equally toxic father. Rampage is a famous name, so he gets a bloody pass from criticism, and the same applies to his bloody, obnoxious bastard of a son. That's true. Because that's what's going on. I promise you that these people's like, man, Rampage, that's that guy I love seeing in the octagon, His son would be devastated. You see what he did, man? We got to, justice for Roger. I'm sure that's what's going on. So, he says, then he goes on to say, even guys I like, such as RVD, Mark Henry, defending Roger, and blamed Stu. If you want to know, in this, that's who I was talking about, those two and some others. I just couldn't believe these vets who have been in wrestling for years would take the side of a scumbag. T. Jones, when you know the wrestling business, semantics, a lot of these wrestlers are scumbags in certain areas. It's just, look, when I meet somebody, I try to think that they're cool, decent, chill people, no matter who it is. But at the same time,
you don't know them.
Yeah, you don't know them, so it's like, where is it? Where is they crazy?
Just keep it, hey, they're a great wrestler, I like watching them, and leave it there.
Yep. That's why I don't go beyond the ring. He says Stu could have died, but apparently these veterans don't care. No, they don't. That is beyond disgusting. Look, the wrestling business was full of nasty, gross, deplorable ribs, pranks. Mark Henry was made to eat feces. Mark Henry was teased racially and in other ways. RVD was teased and joked and pranked and all. Everybody was. In and out of the ring, they were. Marty Jannetty was a serious ribber. So these people have screws loose just like anyone else, anywhere else. Like, I know I've got my crazy in areas. I can't stand injustice. I really can't stand it. It ticks me off to my core, and I go after that brutally. And people call me combative, and they dislike me because of it. If you say something to me and it's a clear lie, and you're trying to gaslight me into believing a lie, I'm gonna leap all up and down your throat with, straight up criticism, facts, logic, and I will break it down into, is that a piece of paper or not? Make a choice. People don't like that. I just like, is this yes or no? And if there's anything in between, I need to hear your side of it, and I will give you the floor, and I will tear you asunder best that I can if you're gonna try to BS me some. So, but that's if that's during an injustice moment. I don't like betrayal. If I'm on your side, I'm for you, and I'm chilling with you, I'm hanging with you, and then you just jack me up, I'm going to take a very personal issue with that. And I'm being very kind. That's me. So these wrestlers, they're crazy in various places. And it come out. So this is them siding with, it's nothing new. Dude, in general, and this is all I'm going to say about it. We've got people in this country that hate other groups so much, they will vote against their best interests to make sure these people suffer. Just think about that. He says, I am glad Stu is recovering well, but this never should have happened in the first bloody place. It is really bad when JBL, of all people, is the one of the few people who rightfully calls out Raja for his disgraceful actions. This is another example of how toxic the wrestling business can be sometimes. I know it isn't the only toxic business, but this is still sickening. All right. And honestly, man, you said nothing wrong. You ain't said anything wrong, man. You know, we thank you for your comment. We do. And we give it the full-on respect that it deserves. And that's what we do. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click that bell as the graphic says. So now we're going to talk about Raja and possible sentencing. You know, like what do we think his future will be and why?
You go first.
Let's see. And I'm going to try to do this in segments if I can. But in the way I see it, he's not going to do hard time or real time. Well, not to say absolutely he's not, but there's a major chance that he won't do serious time, if any. I'm thinking he might be busted down to 3 to 5 years of community service. He might also be on probation for maybe 2 to 3 years. I also think that he is going to take about 2 to 3 years of anger management. And I think he'll be forced to pay and, don't want to get ahead. He'll be forced to pay the medical bills, court fees, and everything else of Stu or Psycho Stu. I don't think he's going to get much in stuff. And the reason being in layers, Sidra, if you want me to go into that.
Sure, go ahead.
Not unless you had something to say or you trying to wait for me.
I'm trying to wait for you because I got a lot to say.
Okay. Let's just break it down real quick. He is the son of a star. That's first and foremost. He is the son of if not United States known star, worldly known star. He is, now him by himself, if you heard, his name is Roger Jackson and he did this, you wouldn't care. But then when you find out that's Quentin Rampage Jackson's son, oh man, T. Jones spoke on that. Just because whose son he is, there's going to be special privilege. You got these wrestlers coming out and defending the actions of this guy. If this guy had jumped on them like that, they would not be defending it. It's like, man, I know he just jacked up my grill and probably ruined my career, but that's Rampage's son. It's cool. No, that would not be happening. Now, legally speaking, don't take legal advice from me, but this is a common thing that I see, and I don't know if it's going to work for him. But this is first time, allegedly. I ain't look up any criminal records of him. But if this is his first time committing any kind of crime like this, then despite how they feel or what they see in his actions, it'll be, this is the first time. And sometimes the first time it's like, okay, look, it's ignorance. We're going to be a little lenient on you. Like if they shot somebody, not in cold blood, crime of passion, anger, or something like that, and it's the first time, they might reduce it instead of 25 years to absolute life in prison, without parole, they might give them 15 to 20 years. Like hard time, like that's it. No chance of appeal or anything. You're going to do your 17 or 25 or 20 or something like that, and that's it. Now, he's also got, now that he's known because of this, now he's going to have more of a social public outcry for and against him. That's what's going to happen. But this is mainly in the fighter world. And if you want to break it down and get to the racial area, then it's going to be another OJ thing. Except there ain't going to be too many black people coming to defend Roger. There ain't going to be too many. However, if you get people out there speaking racially against him, then you'll get the black people coming out trying to defend him and get him off the hook. Because it's going to be a counterbalance, especially going on what is effective and ineffective in terms of racism in this country. So that's going to weigh into it. It also weighs in how the judge feels about him, the jury feels about him. You got to find a jury, if they go that route, that don't know anything about this kid or who his family is. And then the other evidence that come into play, should I keep going with this? The other evidence, Sidra?
I guess I don't.
What we was listening to, sort of.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
The fact, what I had learned, Sidra had learned, that, because I was listening, I couldn't hear it at first, but when he was told that he could get his receipt, because dude popped him with the can and he was ready to bow up and fight, but did he? He didn't. I went over this before. He didn't. He had all the chance to swing. He could have dropped that satchel and just opened up fire. He could have. He didn't. And it seemed squashed. And then when they said, hey, look, dude, you can get back in the ring. You can get him back in the ring. Get your receipt there. You want to pop him sometimes? Go ahead, cut loose. And if you got a problem with it, I'm going to stomp on him too. So, yeah. All right. What does somebody that doesn't understand this going to do? Because Quentin does understand wrestling is a work. He understands it. He knows that they aren't hitting each other for real. He knows that. And that's why and I didn't know his dad was, I know his dad is toxic, but I didn't know his dad was in the chat teasing him, insulting him, basically, being toxic. You're weak or you got punked or whatever. And then his fans are doing that too. So you got all these people basically letting him know that he's weak, nobody, nothing, or whatever terms they was using. So Roger is fighting them, and they're technically gaslighting him, and they're hyping him up. So now he's all gassed up and gas lit. He's ready to go. He gets in that ring, and they told him, go ahead and do what you got to do. We'll pull you off. And when he opened up, you can see that wrestler behind him like, what are you doing? Tried to pull him off. He got him off. He got him off his stool. But Roger was trying to get back at the guy. Not the one pulling him off. The unconscious stew on the mat. Trying to get back on top of the dude and beat the dude that has been absolutely defeated in a fight that he didn't know he was in. He was redlining. That's where Roger was. And that's going to weigh against him a lot. And it's also going to be in his favor when it's like, they said I could do it. And they did. Or he misinterpreted, but they said what they said to someone that doesn't thoroughly get this thing. So I'm just saying it's possible. What I'm saying, he's just going to get, some probation, some community service, anger management, like stuff like that, pay the fines, medical bills, yada, yada. That's why I think it's going to be that. It's some other stuff too, but primarily, it's like, I think they said I could do it. What's wrong? Why couldn't I do it? They said I could. And then he can assume that guy knew he was going to do it. But none of them knew the severity of him doing it. They never knew the severity. They knew what was going to happen, but not how severe it was going to be. And some people, they start fighting, they get in the go mode. It takes so much to turn it off. So much. Which is why in the UFC, they bum rush the fighters off. Once they see it, bam, bam, and bulldoze them off. They don't want to take any chance. And some fighters, they like to get knocked off because it makes it look better. Sports entertainment. So there's my stuff, Sidra. You got a lot to say. You go ahead, girl. You do your thing. Get the talk on. Tell them what you're thinking. Hurry up. You ain't saying too much. Speak up, girl. You got to say something.
How old is this boy? 20?
I don't know. 25?
He over 18, right?
He a grown ass man.
All right, he a grown ass. He a grown ass man.
You a grown ass man once you hit 30 to 32.
18 in the United States of America. He's a grown ass man.
Man.
1.
2.
He's a grown ass black man.
Okay, I'll leave you alone. You let me talk. I'm just having fun.
It's cool. 3. Yeah, people know who Rampage Jackson is, but that's real niche. You understand what I'm saying when I say that?
You think it's just a handful of like 20,000 people that know?
Not 20,000. It could be some millions, but it's not like, little Miss Daisy at Episcopal Bible Church know who Rampage Jackson is.
I guarantee you a minimum of 50 million people.
That's cool. Far fewer than knew who OJ was, okay?
Not many knew who OJ was until OJ had to be in court.
A lot of people know who OJ was because back in the day, he was that color boy running fast on the field.
And in the Naked Gun movies.
They knew who OJ was. It's
Orenthal J. Simpson.
They knew who Kobe was. They knew who Michael Jackson was. My point is, 1.
What did Kobe do?
They tried to get him for rape, remember?
They did?
Yeah, the white woman said, you raped me. It was a whole trial. They found him not guilty. They didn't get him.
Did they get her for false accusations?
I don't know none of that. I'm just telling you that they didn't get him.
Okay.
They didn't get him. They didn't get OJ. They got OJ later. They didn't get Michael. He settled, so we don't know. Here's my point. When they have an opportunity to get a celebrity, especially celebrities of a certain shade, they try hard. 1. 2, he is not a celebrity. He is the son of a celebrity. Okay, that downgrades it. 3.
Not really.
He is a trained mixed martial artist who has fought professionally. He's got a professional record. 4, so that means he's got qualified lethal weapons.
Yep, that's why Mike Tyson couldn't fight anyone outside the ring because his hands are registered lethal weapons just like any professional fighter, especially the higher ranked you are. Once you become a prize fighter, yeah, your whole body is a lethal weapon.
Next, I lost count of my numbers. I'm just going next.
That's
the whole
cool.
globe.
I think you're probably on 5 by now.
The whole globe knows that wrestling is not real. The punches they throw are not real. And even if it was, have you ever seen anybody in wrestling in recorded videotape history mount somebody and beat them in the face 21 times and they didn't move?
Well, you waiting for an answer?
I know there's no answer.
Okay then. Okay.
Okay, let's keep it going. Now, he's a young man and he did a violent act.
Yeah, but he's a young man and he's got his whole life ahead of him.
And now that don't matter for this young man.
You can't destroy this man's whole life for
Nah.
a few seconds of fun.
Nah, it don't matter for this young man. You remember back in
So you
back
don't
in
even
the
know where
day?
that came from.
I know where it came from. They may not know, but I know.
Okay.
20 years ago, remember there was a chain of young NBA basketball players that kept getting locked up for beating up their girlfriend? Or young NFL players for beating up their girlfriend? It was like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Do you recall?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get off. They weren't thinking about their whole life ahead of
I
them.
swear that won't no more than 2 years after Left Eye passed away.
It might have been. I don't know.
It just kept coming out, and then one kept. It's like you did it, and y'all went to court, and y'all rectified, and then y'all was in court like 2 or 3 months later.
It's
And
like,
what is wrong with y'all?
Here's the thing. People who are thrust into money and celebrity, or are brought up in money and celebrity, kind of have this feeling that I can do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, a lot of what Raja portrays is that.
He's affluent.
And so, if you put him before a court and a jury and a real happy, vigorous, overzealous prosecutor, they can argue that this affluent, what's the next word I'm looking for? Premeditated, because he was talking that talk. It doesn't make a difference who was egging him on. He was talking that talk. Then he went in there and did it, and damn near killed the dude. It looks premeditated. It looks like more than assault.
When he was talking that talk, that's the part that stuck out. That he said, yeah, they said I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
They said I could do it. That's gonna weigh.
That's gonna weigh, but there is gonna be a real fancy talking prosecutor that can make a jury think different.
Does this guy have a history of flying off the handle and being violent? Look at his father. Look at this video of his father tearing up this door. How did he get the name Rampage? And then show Rampage on the phone saying that his kids are all right, but he know when it comes to Raja, he don't have college money. He just got bail money.
So
that's gonna come out.
What I'm saying is this: if he gets off with what you saying, he must have a pot of gold, a leprechaun, a rabbit's foot, a 4-leaf clover, and anything else of luck you can have. Because let's not even talk about a silver case all day long. But criminal charges, a professional mixed martial artist, nah, man. Nah.
I remember this affluent boy that drove his car like crazy and killed 4 people. Didn't even care. He was just bothered that it took him a little bit longer to get home. And because he's affluent, he doesn't understand consequences and stuff. They just said house arrest for a little bit.
No, that's not going to work for this one. It's not going to work.
Why is it not going to work?
You know why it's not going to work. You want me to say it?
Well, I mean, whatever it is, make sure it's YouTube friendly.
It's not going to work because this individual is of the African American persuasion, and the one you're talking about was not. And there's 2 systems of justice in this country. And if I don't feel one way or another about it, because I ain't got no dog in this fight. I ain't like Roger, my cousin, but something in the upper story, he knew that what he did was wrong. He knew it
I think he was cowardly, but I don't think he thought it was wrong. And yeah, it's 2 systems of justice racially.
Yeah.
But there's 2 systems of justice financially.
Yeah.
Financially, he's connected. Popularity, he's not, well, he is now, but he's not famous. He's infamous, but he is still, just because he isn't famous and his father is, doesn't mean it counts against him. Yeah. People who are, in the high society mind or elitist mind, they'll see that. It was like, well, you're not famous, but your father is, so it's not going to help you. No. That's going to help because high society is a connection.
I understand that, but I gotta make this comparison again. Yes, Rampage Jackson is famous, but he's niche famous. He ain't Kobe famous.
Those football players that and basketball players that was whooping up on their women and not going to prison, not going to jail.
Some were going. Some were going.
It shouldn't have been some. It should have been all.
I agree.
It should have been all.
Because if you change
they got money or connections. They weren't famous, but they had money or connections.
But tell me this, then what was wrong with Michael Jackson? Because he had to have money and connections too.
It was so egregious they couldn't protect him. Plus, think of how just as popular as Michael Jackson was, he had just almost enough venom from haters that couldn't wait to see this guy go down.
That's true. And let's consider the socio-political climate.
What about it?
Talk. I don't know if it's worse now than it was then, or if it's equal, but it's a lot more out here now. It's not you keep your racism and your elitism under wraps anymore. No. You build a web page around it.
Yep, it's overt, but then they make the excuse like, oh yeah, I am in this a proud boy, or a Nazi, or anti-Semitic, or we don't like Hispanic people, or anyone from Southern North America or South America. Yeah, it's overt, but they sometimes will just say, no, we don't hate them. We just need them to be where they're most comfortable. They'll say stupid stuff like that. We're not racist. We're just, we just have difference of opinion. Like there was no, the Civil War wasn't about slavery. It was about agriculture.
Oh yeah, agriculture.
That stuff, like what's it like? This dude, I'm gonna call his name out, John Lang, the audit. And he was like, he cited Rosa Parks as an auditor. She sat down as a civil rights protest. I'm like, no, it won't. That was a protest against racism. Mm-hmm. That wasn't no civil rights anything. Civil rights came after that.
Yeah, that's what it was labeled. Yeah, but it
was.
Yeah.
I'm not moving. I
shouldn't have to.
There you go.
Up. I shouldn't have to give my seat up.
Yep. Especially on the bus when it said basically sit down where you want.
No, that's
but
not
then
what
in the back it said, colored section.
And she was in the section, but there was no seats.
She was
in
right.
The white section.
She was just above the back of the bus.
And so they're like, you got to give up your seat. That she was sitting where they told her to sit, and they tried to take her seat.
And she's like, nope. And that's what it was. It won't know about no damn civil rights.
That gained traction later. That was one of many jumping off points. There were a few others too that we don't need to get into because it's kind of getting off topic.
Yeah, but this is just to let y'all know, whatever they do, there's going to be people that undermine it or change it based on, because they don't want to come across as a racist. That's what this little side trip was about.
So, as I said before, if he gets...
Not saying that anyone against him is racist. Don't even twist it. It's just there are people that's going to come out saying some really weird stuff. And you're going to be like, I don't get it. It's going to sound weird. Like, you're talking about it, but I don't see how that has anything to do with it. Because it's going to say what? Well, his dad is in his life, but where's his mom? He's in a single parent home. They're going to say stuff like that. You know, what is his education level? Is he underprivileged? Stuff like that. They're going to say weird stuff. You know, like, see, this kid is just one step from food stamps, and he's trying to make a burden on the country. You're going to hear weird stuff. We're just warning you ahead of time.
So that is why I don't think he's going to get off with basically what Sedrik was describing as an elaborate slap on the wrist. If he does, like I said, he got pockets full of lucky trinkets, because I don't see that happening.
Both arguments are sound. They are. What I said is sound and can be true. What Sidra said is sound and can be true. That's why we have a judicial system. That's why it should be innocent until proven guilty, despite we know that brother's guilty. We know this. I got the rope right here. That's what's going. That they're gonna want to hang him. They're gonna want to hang him. You're gonna hear that talk. Just getting y'all ready for it. And I'm gonna tell y'all. Here's the messed up part. It's gonna be years. It might be 2 years before he see a day in court.
Yeah.
By the time he goes to court and he gets started, people done forgot about it.
The only one who's not gonna forget about it is Stu.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If Stu won't racist, he is now. It's gonna be hard to blame him.
Yeah, he's out the hospital. That's wonderful, but he ain't in the clear. He took 21 blows to the head.
Unprotected, unfettered, unmitigated MMA full mounted strikes. And that is something a prosecutor would throw out there and just say, this guy took this, and show his face. Bring up his damage and be like, you want to let someone that did this to a guy back out on the streets.
And the dude was unconscious. He won't fight back. He was never in a position to fight back because after the first blow, he was done.
What happens when he does this to somebody's child, somebody's aunt or
somebody's
uncle,
daughter?
Yep. Oh, go to the daughter, and show the picture of a 12-year-old white girl with blue eyes, blonde hair, in her nice little church uniform, and just say, can you imagine this grown man doing this to her? Man, the jury will be banging the gavel. That's all it take. That's all it take. This, to some, cut and dry. To others, first offense, man, come on. He ain't gonna do it no more.
First offense for battery is, all right, y'all was on the street, you popped them once. Okay, no. What was the intent behind this? What was the intent?
There you go.
What is the intent behind 21 blows to the head, ladies and gentlemen?
Intent is not to get a conviction. Intent is to get them on trial, to even go to court.
You also have to understand that they're gonna argue this before a jury. It's about convincing the jury.
Yep, this ain't federal. This is deep. This is deep.
And for some, all you got to do is play the footage. It don't make a difference who said what to who when, who said they could do it, who egged them on, who gassed them up. For some people, it's just like, look at what he did to that unconscious man.
To us, the layman, you out there listening, those that like, look, Roger's guilty. And if you on that side, and this is all, if I was the prosecutor, okay, look, we got to send Roger up the river. All right. I know Alcatraz is kind of not a thing anymore, but let's put him in there. You know, he can walk around free. He ain't getting off that island. You know, he good. You know, this is all they got to do. All right, listen, people of the court, Your Honor, you know, check this out, y'all. But all they got to do is just say, hey, look at this footage. Mm-hmm. Show the footage. Just show the whole thing. And then be like, as you can see, after the first two blows, after this slam, Stu was unresponsive. And I can understand, you're in fight mode. So he hit him 3 times, maybe 5. Why didn't he stop? This guy, this man, this trained fighter who is trained to know when someone's unconscious or not, he kept attacking. This is almost attempted murder. Watch as he keeps beating on him. Watch this guy who pulls him off. Now, watch here, Roger, Mr. Jackson, faintly attack this guy to get him off of him to go after the unconscious victim. This man is choking on his teeth and blood. Face up. He's trying to go back after him. The other wrestlers are holding him back, and now he's fighting the wrestlers. Some of the wrestlers have to fight him. This guy was out of control. Let me know how that level of out of control behavior is safe for society. Now, I'm going to let y'all know a good defense for that. Just show them the police in action. Show the police going, ape shit and hurting people. Show that. There's police out there that broke a woman's arm. There's another that broke someone's leg. Threw an old man out of his home. Tried to kick in the door of someone that they didn't have a warrant for or anything. Police doing dangerous stuff. Police shooting people that was walking away from them. Police planting evidence. They get to keep their job. They get to go out there and do it again. So, compare and contrast. This is just a guy. Roger's just a dude. Lost his temper, red line. Police are government entities. They have a lot of power. And just because they say something, their words weigh heavily. So, you could do that. Not sure how far it'll get you. I'm just saying you could do it. I'm a little curious how this trial will go. Because if this doesn't even go to trial, if this doesn't even see a day in court, yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And leniency, people, is there. This easily, what someone could easily say? Because I've said it, but I want to compact it. They could easily say this kid grew up seeking, the respect from his peers. And his peers say, you want respect, you got to be a man. You got to be able to fight and win. You can't take crap off nobody. You can't let anyone make you look weak. You can't let someone walk all over you. You want our respect? Someone disrespect you, you put them down. He had to grow up in that. And he's still growing up in that. So that's the only life he's known. Poor rearing, a product of society. There's a lot of defenses out there, a lot, that could sway a judge and possibly a jury until, you know what? The defense had a nice argument. That's nice. Let me play this video for you again. Mm-hmm. It is best for the defense to go first. Because what people hear first is what they stick with.
The defense don't usually go first.
And that's why they got this uphill battle. And then say, you lock this kid up, because they're going to use kid. I promise you. If he's under 25, they're going to use kid. Don't take this kid from his father. Don't take this kid from his brothers and sisters. Let this kid prove to you that he can and will change and be someone for a productive society. If you lock him up, you have ruined his chance to prove to you his worth to society. Do you want that on your hands? Are you in good hands? I'm just saying. I couldn't help but had to do it. Mm-hmm. But just, it's a lot of arguments. And I'm curious to how this is going to go down. So, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, click that bell. Make sure of that. I think we've run out of things to say.
Yeah.
But if y'all got this far, I thank you very much. We getting up out of here. This has been Sedrik and Sidra for CRWC and commentary. And thank you, Tal Jones, for your comment. I hope y'all listen to this. I want y'all to be cool, be chill, be safe, so we can see you win next time. Because next time we'll be here. Trust and believe. Peace.